Welcome to the Big Cat Habitat facility a year on. I can't believe where a year's gone. But we wanted to give you an update and let you know how all the big cats are doing here. So just behind me we've got Nala, and then just to my side here we've got Hira. We also have Kari, our male, who's right just over the other side at the moment, and I'm happy to say that they are all together and doing really, really well. Now, when the lionesses arrived here, we did have a third lioness, and that was Emma. Unfortunately, not long after Emma came here, we noticed that her behaviour had changed and she'd become a little bit quieter than normal. So we decided to get the vet to come and have a look and check how she was doing. And unfortunately, when we had done some tests, we did find out that she had cancer. Now, over a short period of time, she did deteriorate, and we decided that the nicest thing to do to stop her being in any pain was to euthanize her. So I'd say one of my personal highlights is actually seeing the lion pride together now. It was quite a difficult process, and we sort of took 3 steps forward and 5 back sometimes, so it's really rewarding to see them all together now and getting on really well. So I would say here at the Big Cat Habitat, one of my favourite things is having that one-on-one time and doing training with the cats. We don't spend much sort of one-on-one time with the cats. We try and look from a distance and let them do their natural behaviours. And it can be really, really rewarding when you do a training session with the cats and they pick up what you're after, and suddenly we're weighing and taking blood samples. So to me, that is definitely a highlight. So when the lionesses arrived here at Blackpool Zoo, they were a well-established group together, so it was quite a tricky process then adding a male in with 3 females that had been together a while and that were really sort of happy together, and to throw another one into the mix can sometimes be quite difficult, and we did find it quite difficult. Some of the females, well, particularly Hira, who's just behind me now, is quite a young female, very playful, and can sometimes be a little bit too energetic for Kari. So Kari, our male, is not particularly experienced. He's not been around any other females before other than his mother, so didn't really know how to read some of her behaviour. And some of her behaviour sometimes was just wanting to play with him, and he got a little bit defensive, which sometimes ended in a bit of a fight with each other, but it was all a learning process. Now, we did mix the females with Kari one-on-one to start with, and then we gradually built that up with 2 and him, and then eventually with 3. Now, unfortunately, like I said earlier, we did end up losing Emma, but the group have come together really well, and we seem to have got them as a really good pride together without any problems. And we're seeing Kari's confidence now with the females is really, really positive, and fingers crossed it'll carry on going in the same direction. So our male lion here is Kari, and Kari was actually born here at Blackpool Zoo. Now, he was quite unique in the fact that he was raised by his father. His mother died when he was quite young, but luckily he was at an age where he was independent. And then years later, unfortunately, his dad did die, which is why we've brought in the 3 females to mix with him and hope that he then runs his own pride. Now, in the time that this new facility was being built, Kari actually went to Whipsnade Zoo, and they were looking after him for us while we built this facility. Now, the initial plan was for him to be mixed with some other females there, but that was more just for company and not for breeding. So the decision was made to give him a contraceptive implant. And that contraceptive implant puts hormones into the body to then prevent him from breeding. But also, by stopping his natural hormones, that actually made his mane hair fall out. Which is why, when you see him, he looks quite a lot different than either the way he did before or that compared to a male lion. But since he's been back at Blackpool Zoo, we have removed that implant and we've tested his testosterone level, which is back to normal, and we've definitely seen growth of the hair, and just his whole stature and his body condition has changed a lot, and we're hoping that that'll just carry on and he'll have his mane back in no time. Now, one of the main benefits since we built this facility is definitely this area, and this area is where keepers will spend a lot of their time one-on-one with the big cats, and this gives us the opportunity to be able to check over the cats, make sure that they're in really good health condition. Now, just behind me here is our training chute, as we call it. All the training that we do here at Blackpool Zoo is just for veterinary purposes. So this training chute gives us the opportunity to be able to weigh the cats, with them doing it all off their own accord. We do it through positive reinforcement, so we will ask the cats to do something and reward them with a piece of food for it. So they would be weighed in here, and we also have these ports just at the bottom here that will open, and the cats can present their tails to these ports. And we have a little hook where we can use the hook to bring their tail out so that keepers don't have to put their arms inside anywhere, just to prevent any potential issues. And we can take blood samples from the cat's tails. Now, we're in the process at the moment of doing further training with the cats so that any veterinary conditions that they may have or any veterinary checks that we want to do, we can hopefully do them without sedating the cats, just to eliminate that risk. So as well as the training chute, we also have these 3 pens here behind the scenes. And these areas we would give the cats access to in the evening so that they can pick and choose where they would like to sleep, whether that be outside, in the main area that you will see through the windows, or this area. A lot of the time the cats do sleep together. As the weather improves, we'll find that they are sleeping outside a lot more. But this pen just behind me here is what we would potentially use as a cubbing den. So a female lion will take herself off to a private area to give birth to cubs. So just at the back there, you will see a little area that is currently open, but when we have a female that potentially is pregnant in the future, we will board up the front of here and just give a hole so that the female can walk into there, and she's got a private area where she can have her cubs. We've got a really good facility here now where we have CCTV throughout the building, so that we can monitor the cats 24 hours a day, and also we will have a camera within the cubbing den so that we don't have to disturb the cat as well, but we can monitor it and see exactly what's going on. And it's these sort of facilities that are really, really important for the welfare of the cats, and it's things that we didn't have before. So this is definitely a real main benefit of this new facility. Tiger mixing can be really, really difficult. We're very lucky that we've got our female Aliona, who's fast asleep behind me here, who is an experienced female and has been with other males before. So we were hoping that she would lead the way and teach our new male Rusty, who's only young and he's 4 years old, who hasn't been with other females, how to behave around them. With animals, and particularly with cats as well, they learn everything through experiences. So we wanted to try and give him the knowledge and the different behaviours that he should be doing through Aliona. So first of all, we had the cats in different areas within the habitat, and then swapped them over but kept them separate so that they could smell each other initially, and they could pick up that scent. Then we did have them see each other through a glass window at first, and all the behaviours and all the signs that we were seeing were really, really positive. After we'd seen those positive behaviours, we decided to mix them, but with a mesh panel between them, just to see whether anything changed. And the vocalising and all the different behaviours that we saw, again, were really, really positive, particularly from our female Aliona towards him, and then him reciprocating that. And due to that, we decided that we felt after a certain amount of time that they were ready to be mixed together. And I'm really happy to say that it went really, really positively, and they're doing really well together now. So our female tiger, Aliona, is 16 this year. She has had cubs before, but she's at a time in her life now where she is quite an older female and we wouldn't really breed from her. So she has got a contraceptive implant to prevent that from happening, and we're just hoping that the two tigers together, that Aliona will pass on all that experience that she's got from being with males before onto Rusty, and in the future maybe he'll then be with a younger female, but for the time being these two are getting on great and we're enjoying seeing them together. So here at the Big Cat Habitat facility, the future is looking great. We've got our Lion Pride all together, and both our tigers are settled and everybody's getting on really well. I do hope that we may have some cubs in the future, but we'll keep you updated.